rise above and extinguish fear when we generate love. A single candle lights up the darkness, that is the power we all harness. Let's identify targets, light them up.
Rise Above crew, I'm here in Stockholm, Sweden. First of all, apologies for not finishing off COVID 1984, more of that to come. Apologies for not finishing the Pizzagate Chronicles, more of that to come. As some of you may not know, I'm an MC, combat sports, and I'm a music artist. I've been called away to Stockholm to do some international pro level MMA, which is kind of awesome. First impressions of Sweden, it's nice, it's clean, the air is clean, there's less traffic, less pollution. There's still a lot of homeless people here, and there's a lot of people walking around collecting rubbish, which we don't see in the UK. So, okay, I will say one thing. Swedish people are a lot healthier than people in the UK. I don't see very much obesity. I will definitely say on the whole, Swedish people are healthier than people in England. We can talk about the stats all day. Here are the important ones. The population of Sweden is 10 million. They've had 83,000 cases of COVID, and they've had 5,700 deaths. Now, if we compare that to England, we've got 55 million, we're 5 times bigger. We've had 311,000 cases, so roughly 5 times as many cases. We've had 35,000 deaths. Now, I'm gonna use 35,000 because 40,000 was the figure last week. They said they've just shaved 5 off. Now, we could talk about death rates and stuff like that when it comes to cases, but the fact is that the testing is so inaccurate, I don't even think that's worth talking about. Here's a percentage that's worth talking about. If we take the population of England and the population of Sweden separately and divide the amount of deaths by the amount of people, we get almost the same figure. For England, it's 0.06% of the population died of COVID-19. Sweden, it's 0.05. So even though they've got a better healthcare system here, people are generally healthier, they're not as obese, they're more spread out, roughly, take 0.01%, the same amount of people died, if we believe the official figures. Enough about stats. Let's see what it's like on the streets of Sweden on my adventure that I went on today. I've been staying right in the centre of Stockholm. I have also visited a suburb called Eskilstuna, which is about 2 hours away outside of the city. So I think I've got a pretty good feel for how Sweden, or Stockholm in particular, is dealing with the pandemic. And the first thing I'd say from what I've seen so far is what pandemic? I've been walking around high streets, I've been walking around city centre locations, I've been walking around neighbourhoods, no masks. There are no queues outside of shops. There are no businesses shut. It's a hustling, bustling city. Life is normal. Now I've just come to a little street-side cafe. I ordered a gin and tonic. There is no track and trace. There is no social distancing. Life completely as normal here in Stockholm. While I've been here, I've been constantly asking people what their views are about COVID, Corona, and generally from Swedes, the first response I get is raised eyebrows. Yeah, honestly, 9 out of 10 people I've spoken to here, the first response I get before they've said a word about the situation, not about how their country have coped with it, is raised eyebrows. They seem to think it's a bit of a con. And the crazy thing is, when Swedish people have asked me how we're dealing with it in the UK, and I tell them that a lot of businesses have shut, people have to queue to get into supermarkets, everybody's wearing a mask, everybody's social distancing, not touching each other, they literally cannot believe it. The first thing they say is, why? Why are you doing that? I've got to say, as I see people enjoying their food, spending time with their friends and families, sitting out, drinking, smoking, enjoying. It makes me wonder why we're not doing this in the UK.
Walk so far today, I've got a bit lost. I'm on the wrong side of the water, so I've got to backtrack on myself, cross over this water here and get back on the other side over there, back to where the hotel is. But I tell you what, I must have walked a good 8 miles so far. One mask. I've only seen one mask today. Absolutely no evidence whatsoever that there is a global pandemic here in Stockholm, Sweden. Apart from a bottle of hand sanitizer here and there, nothing. Having spoke to quite a few Swedish people, what I've gathered is that they had no lockdown. At the very start of the crisis, some places shut down, but for a very short period of time. The only places that are closed are large concert halls and venues. So, no businesses were shut down. No businesses have closed forever because of the lockdown. That means no jobs have been lost. Basically, it's life as normal here in Stockholm. I cannot see any evidence whatsoever of a global pandemic, of a lot of people having been sick, of a virus. There's just no evidence of it. It's life as normal everywhere I've gone.
So there you have it. I've been around about, you've seen for yourself how Stockholm, the capital city of Sweden, is dealing with the COVID-1984 scamdemic. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like this, share it. Thank you for your support. Everyone that's bigging up the channel, everyone that's sharing my videos, rise above.